Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is AOC, like she calls herself on Twitter, says Americans needed undocumented migrants to survive the pandemic. And then she drummed up support for amnesty measures.
We just lived through almost 2 years now of a pandemic that where our country relied on undocumented people to survive. Who else was sanitizing our buildings? Who else was caring for our elders? Who else was harvesting our food? Who else was stocking our shelves except immigrant labor in the United States of America?
Well, the squad member's remarks come as her hometown, New York City, is set to allow some 800,000 non-citizens the right to vote in local elections. Yeah, you only have to be here for like a month. This will be the Big Apple chance to be the largest jurisdiction in the country to extend the right to vote to non-citizens. Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. If you were just saying to yourself, wow, we got to work out immigration reform. Let's approach this thing with an open mind and with the country's sanctity and the cusp of our elections intact. And then all of a sudden you have AOC come out and say, we got to have illegals vote. People that don't belong here, haven't taken the citizenship test, snuck into the country. Let's let them vote in elections. They don't know the language. They've already broken the law to be here. Let's make sure that they get licenses. You thought that was something you might accept. But now if we accept this, all hell's going to break loose and immigration reform will not happen. You will never get any conservative, even a moderate Republican along, because this is their greatest fear.
And Kennedy, just to put a fine point on it, these are people who may have got married while they're in the country. They have a visa. I mean, they're here for all sorts of reasons. And within 30 days, they're able to do kind of the central point of our democracy, vote in local elections.
Well, here's what they need to do, and here's what the Congresswoman and some of her colleagues need to do. They need to create an appropriate immigration process so people become legal and then they can vote when they become United States citizens, because citizenship is sacred. It really is. I mean, I do agree with her in that, yes, we do need immigrants in this country to make it great. And people come to this country from other parts of the world because they want to live the American dream. What is the American dream? It's actually meritocracy. It's actually work hard, become successful. And you see that time and time again. Some of the most inspiring stories we have are people who came from nothing, sacrificed everything, and made something great. Half of the Fortune 500 companies are from immigrant founders. And, you know, it's like, I actually look higher and broader and to greater success than the Congresswoman who says that, you know, it's like, yeah, people stock your shelves, they clean your toilets, they pick food. It's like, well, why don't you want people to come to this country and get PhDs and perform miracles and make it even better? I hold immigrants
well, many of them do.
Much
I don't know how they got left off her list.
Yes.
Yeah. Kaylee, your thoughts?
You know, AOC, sometimes the ignorance is really just confounding to me. We have a crisis on our southern border. I'm sorry, but when you have nearly, 12,000, 13,000 migrants under a bridge in Del Rio sitting in human excrement, we have a humanitarian crisis. So what is her answer? There's push and pull factors in immigration. Pull means we're pulling people across the border. When you say, let's cram mass amnesty into a bill, that is a massive pull factor at a time when the Washington Examiner reported last week that we have 7 times greater the number of immigrants coming from countries outside of Mexico and the top 3 Central American countries. So these are outside that perimeter, 7 times greater number this year than last. This is a national security threat. And she says, let's open the doors, pull everyone in, mass amnesty. What an ignorant proposal.
Well, and it's a pandemic. And we know from our own reporting that they're not able to test everybody. I mean, we've asked our Border Patrol to do everything except for fly with a red cape on. I mean, they're having to do it all. Yeah. So they do what they can, but you've got a tremendous amount of people. And then those that you find that are positive, they try to quarantine them. You've seen the reports. They break their quarantines, go all over the country. You know, Emily, just from a legal standpoint, what can be done to make it look more like what Kennedy's saying, so that there's uniformity, and you come here, you become a citizen, then you can vote.
Right. Well, I think that would be up to the legislature to create that immigration reform that would create either
Boy,
specific
they seem so hungry
paths.
to fix it, don't
and
they?
then to the point about the legality, you know, this isn't illegal in that Maryland alone has 11 cities that do this. The issue is that this would be the largest metropolis that would grant the right to vote to non-citizens because obviously it's not federal elections. And I just want to be clear for viewers so they understand the arguments on both sides, because when Kilmeade brought up the need for immigration reform, here's why that's not happening. The council, for one reason, the Councilman Rodriguez, who created this, who authored this bill, he specifically said, these people who are against it, they are the same group of people who've been Donald Trump supporters, who've been never on the side of immigrants. They're the same people who would be fine with legislation in the South that is reducing voting rights. The bill will pass, and instead of diluting anything, it will strengthen our democracy. My point is illustrating that those talking points are hyperbolic, they're negative, they are absolutely incorrect, and they overgeneralize and they demonize the GOP. That's demonizing the counter argument to this bill, which is the right of citizenship, the right to vote, under citizenship is so sacred. It's so important. As Council Member Joe Borelli said, the stakes are too high in this country and in this city to give it away to someone who's only been here lawfully for 30 days.
But
it means more. And so my point about bringing up
consistent.
Rodriguez's comments when he authored the bill is that he's demonizing the other side and just saying, like you heard for, you know, in your 4 years with Trump, the demonization rather than engaging in the topics and saying, all right, let's work with this. Let's work together and hear why you think that this policy prevents me from voting and why I argue it should be there for lawful residents of 30 days.
The demonizing, though, of conservatives on this issue is so consistent with the other side not having the argument to fix the problem. I mean, it's a lot easier just to call somebody wrong names, you know, all sorts of things. But it's harder to come up with the answers. I don't think they have on the left, and we've seen it for both parties, the compunction to deal with this issue. Because if they did, they would have done it by now.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.